Thanks for tuning in to the Thumb Strong podcast. If you could, please like and subscribe to help us reach more people and help them get started in their fitness journey. Thanks and enjoy the episode. Alrighty, we are live for another episode of the Thumb Strong podcast. Welcome back, Doran.
Thanks.
From your trip.
Happy to be back.
Yep. Today we're actually going to talk about healthy habits for the whole family this summer. Obviously we talk a lot about nutrition and fitness and creating healthy habits, but something that we want to try to educate or provide more information and tips on is how you can do it as an entire family, because obviously one of the biggest struggles that we see is maybe a mom or a dad or a kid wants to come in and start getting healthier and working out, but it's hard because nobody else in the family is doing it. So maybe they're eating different stuff, they're not, different schedules, things like that. But the reason I wanted to bring it up now is because as we head into summer, obviously kids are out of school, schedules are a little bit more lenient. There aren't as many kids in sports right now. So how can we create some healthy habits as a family, not only in fitness and nutrition, but also in connection and spending more quality time with each other, because that is a huge part of health in general, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what we're going to dive into. So what do we want to start with?
We can start with section number 1, our simple nutrition habits that stick. So biggest thing is just not overcomplicating things, focusing on just making better choices overall. And then the other key part of this is eating more meals at home and aiming to eat together at the table, not like in front of the screen.
Yeah.
Biggest recommendation, is like eating at the kitchen table, cooking home cooked meals, involving the kids to help in whatever way that they can, even if it's just setting the table. But if they can help in the preparing of the food, or maybe have one of them cook dinner one night and then the other one cook dinner a different night, and then that way it's giving them the healthy habits and the life skills to be able to cook for themselves, healthy meals in the future too.
Yeah, and obviously a lot of this is going to depend on the age, I think, of the kids, because like a lot of teenagers are probably kind of going out and doing their own thing most nights. But if you had at least 1 day a week or 2 days a week where you ate as a family, and then I like the idea. I think the younger kids would definitely get a kick out of playing a role with choosing some of the foods that you have for dinner. You could even put together just like maybe it's like your favorite 5 to 10 dinners, and you had the recipes and everything on like a flip book with a number, and the kids got to pick 2 numbers every week, and you made those meals for dinner or something like that.
Yeah, like a menu or something.
Yeah, like a menu, kind of make it fun.
Yeah, kind of like you're at like a 5-star restaurant. Like, all right, what do we have tonight?
Yeah.
And then your kid can pick it. And then, the recipes on there or whatever. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, it would for sure.
I think the no screen time is important too.
Yeah.
Having quality time spent with your
eating
family.
around the table.
Yeah.
That was actually one of our habits in our challenge, was one meal with intention. And so that was where you couldn't work or be on your phone or watch TV while you ate one meal a day. And a lot of people did say that they ate at the table more.
Yeah.
They actually talked to each other more. It actually helped improve like some of the relationships and kind of the bonding with the family because they were doing that. So I think that's super important. More nutrition tips, just something I wanted to share, would be having healthy snacks, like especially for kind of younger kids, like anywhere from 3 all the way up to 13, to having healthy snacks available for them throughout the day. Because I remember when I was a little kid during the summer, like we were busy, like riding bikes everywhere, playing all day long, like getting together with friends that are around the neighborhood and stuff. And you end up like going to the store and getting slushies and candy bars, and then we'd go to each other's houses and you just grab whatever you could find. Usually it was Little Debbie's or ice cream or something like that. So like having healthier snacks that are still good would be a huge recommendation from my personal experience. Not that I probably loved having it, but looking back, I know it probably wasn't the best thing for me to have all that every day. So having like fresh food available, maybe some like, healthier bars, like on the go, like granola bars and things like that.
Fruits.
Yep. Yeah, fruits and stuff cut up. But even like jerky and
like
cheese,
beef
beef
sticks.
sticks and stuff like that.
I remember going on a lot of trips as a kid, like to the zoo or to wherever, like going camping or something. Like anytime you go out, we always packed snacks, and usually it was just simple stuff like a little baggie of carrots with like granola bar,
Yeah.
like a couple oranges or apples, strawberries,
Cheese sticks.
cheese sticks, or like those. Sometimes we take those
nut
packets,
mix, like
yeah,
trail
something
mix.
like that. And I mean, you can pretty easily just pack those. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? We did that camping when I was in Oregon. We packed like strawberries, blueberries, salmon candy, like nuts, pistachios, like all this kind of stuff. And I remember when I was younger, my dad set something out or something like that, and I'm like, I don't want that. I want this or that, like something healthy. I'm like, well, you must not be very hungry then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which
exactly.
is kind of the truth,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah, if you can't have a healthy food, you're not actually really hungry.
Yeah.
You're probably just bored or
Yeah.
craving it. Yeah,
Just
that's a
want
good
a treat.
point.
Yeah. But yeah, and I mean, you can find those types of things at Sam's Club if you're, want to buy it in bulk or something like that. That way, you can save a little bit of money on the snacks versus like buying individual things, or even just buying it at Walmart. You can get it cheaper when you buy it in a larger amount if you know that the kids are going to go through it. Things like that ready.
Even on Amazon, like I get all those nut mix individual packs on Amazon. They're pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Things like those.
Mhm.
Bars, protein bars, whatever.
Right. Another tip is to limit eating out to once a week. So instead of it being, an every other day or an every day thing of like, yeah, let's run through this drive-through or let's go out to this restaurant. It's, make it a once a week, a family experience, not necessarily a fallback option.
And that includes like running through Dairy Queen at the end of the day every single, 4 days a week or something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people get caught up doing that, and I get it. Like, if you're running around or if you do have like travel sports, I'm sure you play a lot of travel ball and
Yeah.
stuff growing up. But
it's tough.
it can be tough, but it just takes a little bit of preparation. If you have something prepared for dinner, that way when you get home, you don't have to make it from scratch. And it all just comes down to, okay, what days are we traveling? What days are we busy this week? What can we throw together the day before or the weekend before and have it ready to go in the fridge for that day? Even if you just ran through the drive-through once a week, or just anything that can slowly improve, make better choices. I think,
Yeah.
help.
Yeah, instead of 4 days a week, go to 1 day a week, or
Right.
2 days a week, even, and it makes a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And it saves you more money.
I think it saves way more money. Yeah. People think it's costs a lot to eat healthy. I mean, you go through Dairy Queen, you get a burger and fries and a Blizzard, and it's like $30 for me and Katie, just for the two of us. I couldn't imagine having 3 kids too. It's like
$50.
$50-$70 for a meal plus a treat.
Yeah, well, it's because they think all like the healthy stuff when they see like these buzzwords on the shelves at the grocery store, like these meals
Yeah.
or whatever, like that are supposed to be this new thing that came out. It's supposed to be super good for you, and something completely unnecessary. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
that
overpriced.
They could just charge whatever they want for it
yeah,
because it's
that
healthy.
and individual foods like fast foods and stuff. It's a smaller
Yeah,
purchase up front. So it's like people get their head around single serving $5 is cheap, whereas most healthy stuff you're buying a bigger portion about it. Like
Mhm.
think about buying chicken breast. You're not just going in there and buying one little 6-ounce chicken breast.
No.
Like you're buying a package of a couple pounds, and so they see that price tag of, oh my god, it's $20 for 4 pounds. Well, do the math. Like if each person has a 4 to 6 ounce chicken breast, like you're literally feeding your family for a week
Yeah.
off that one package. Like, people just don't break it down to serving size, I think, as good as they probably should. They just look at the total cost, like, oh wow, that's expensive
Yeah.
compared to,
just a quick meal.
Yeah. They can get a bag of pizza rolls for however much, but a kid could eat that in freaking one sitting. I did.
Heck
We had them Hot Pockets pizza rolls,
Yeah,
man.
Hot
That was my
Pockets.
nighttime snack.
Or the
I was
Tostitos.
down those things. Tostitos, yeah.
And the serving size, like what you said, I think a lot of people just don't know that, and they fail to have that intelligence of it.
Yep.
So a big part of it is just like learning that, hey, if I'm gonna buy this in bulk, yeah, it's more expensive than just going through a drive-through and buying something real quick.
Yeah.
But long term, it's a
Yeah.
lot more cheaper.
Well, if you break it down, okay, let's say it's $5 a pound. I don't know what it is for chicken. Is that accurate?
Um,
I have no idea.
not really. Like it'd probably be anywhere from $2.50 to $3 a pound, depending on where you get it from.
It's even better then.
Yeah.
So let's say it's $3 a pound, 16 ounces in a pound. You're averaging probably a 4 to 6 ounce chicken breast. So that's 3 servings per pound. So it's like $1 for that chicken breast,
Mhm.
for that meal. And then you add some broccoli and a rice or a potato with it. You've got a beautiful meal for $2, $3.
Yeah.
And you can go even cheaper if you get like frozen vegetables and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The more chicken you buy,
Yeah.
you can freeze it.
Bag of potatoes.
Yes.
It's just the time I think it takes, and it
Right,
doesn't taste
yeah.
quite as good.
Yeah.
Another thing, though, going back to the travel sports and stuff like that, I think that if you do go out and eat, you should think of healthier fast food options. Obviously, fast food is still fast food, but there's healthier options than McDonald's and Dairy Queen. But yeah,
Chipotle.
there's Chipotle, there's
Qdoba.
Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
Tropical
That one's a good one. Qdoba,
Panera.
Panera Bread.
Panera Bread's not bad. Yeah, so there's a lot more options than just Wendy's, McDonald's,
Even Chick-fil-A.
Burger King.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Chick-fil-A's not bad.
You
And
get those
there's-
grilled nuggets.
yeah, grilled nuggets. There's different options if you go places. You just gotta have the discipline, I guess, to stop yourself from, hey, I'm not gonna buy that chicken sandwich. I'll buy the grilled chicken nuggets.
Yep.
And then maybe a side salad.
Yeah.
That'll be it.
Absolutely. All right, next we'll talk about hydration habits. So staying hydrated in the summer is very important, especially if you are running around doing more things, going outside.
yeah.
You're going to be sweating more, and so just got to replace that with some hydration, some water, and maybe some electrolytes, depending on how much you are sweating. Any sort of dehydration leads to being sluggish, a little more cranky, you don't sleep as good, you get more muscle cramps, feel weaker, like it's a bunch of bad things. More brain fog, so making sure to stay hydrated is very important, especially, year round, but especially in the summertime.
My favorite tip would be if for the parents to get each of your kids their own like insulated water bottle with their name on it or something, and then make it a goal of like, okay, who can get their bottle of water in or 3 bottles of water in every day, the most consistent or something. Like make it kind of gamified.
Mm-hmm.
First one you get your 3 bottles in or something.
Yeah.
Not that you should be chugging 3 bottles like first thing in the morning or anything,
No. Yeah.
but like getting in that water intake, setting some kind of goal.
You can have a chart.
Yeah,
and,
chart
like,
it,
Put a
yeah.
little sticker on there so they get their
Yeah.
water goal.
Yeah.
I think to add on to that, I would get a big water bottle. Like I wouldn't get a small one because there's not always places for you to fill up your water bottle.
Yeah.
And you can get water bottles that have like, okay, drink this much by 1 p.m., drink
Yep.
this much by 3
Oh, yeah.
p.m., drink this
Yeah,
much by
those,
that. So I would get, like when I was little, I would have a big water bottle so I didn't have to go and refill it all the time.
I would say like probably 32 to 64
Yeah.
ounces.
Still
somewhere in
do
that
that.
range.
Yeah, I still have I have a bigger Yeti water
Yeah.
bottle.
32 to 64 ounces. Yeah, something insulated. And then all you gotta do is drink 1 to 2 of them
Mhm.
really every day, but at the minimum. But.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
And then for kids, because a lot of kids probably like pop and juice and stuff like that over water, you can get really good tasting electrolyte powders for relatively cheap. Most electrolyte powders like Element, Relight, I don't know if there's anything you guys have used, but there's different electrolyte powders that you can buy in like a tub, and you just mix a scoop up with it, and you can put it right in their big water bottle and get different flavors like blue raz, fruit punch, pink lemonade, whatever you want, and it's like 60 cents a serving or something. If your kid is like a little bit picky and wants something that tastes good, you could always mix something like that in there. Plus, they're going to get more electrolytes
Mhm.
out of it as well.
Or like a lot of infused waters like lemon water and things like that.
Yeah, put some lemon in there.
Yeah, lemon. Yep.
Some people like cucumber and mint.
Try some different stuff out.
Yeah. Another thing is just keeping a supply of water in the fridge ready to go, whether that is like If you do have bottled water that's easy to grab and go, or a pitcher, if you have the refrigerator with the little water thing, that's even better. I've always wanted one of those, but I never had one. I always thought it was so cool when I go to my friends' houses and have like they got the ice that comes out of the fridge and
Yeah.
the water, and I'm like, man, it's so cool, right? Okay, and that covers hydration. So we'll talk about moving your body every day next.
Yeah, probably the most important. Easiest to
important.
implement, probably too.
It is the easiest one to get done, I would say.
Yeah.
Now, this doesn't have to be workouts. This can be fun, active play. And honestly, that's sometimes the best form because you can do it for an hour and, like, you know, you're having fun, so it goes by fast, right? So you could do walks daily. You know, it's really nice out, late, it's light out. So taking like an evening walk after dinner or something like that. And then, you know, working on those structured workouts 2 to 3 days a week in the gyms. I mean, we know things get busier. We know there's trips and there's ball games and things that can crowd the schedule, but at least getting in 2 to 3 workouts of resistance training, more like serious workouts, and then filling the rest of the time with, you know, more movement, play, that sort of thing. That's the best way to stay in shape during the summer.
Yeah, and I would say if your family or like nobody in the family is working out yet, easiest way to start is like you said, like go for a walk with the family every night or like a bike ride. I know little kids especially probably like to ride bikes a lot. So if you all had bikes, you know, going for a quick bike ride for a little while. The other things could be just like playing yard games. So maybe it's going out with the family and playing some cornhole or frisbee toss, or you know, maybe it's a actual like, you know, throwing the football around or kickball or something like that, playing catch. Anything like that, just to get outside, get a little bit of movement in with the kids, I think would be super valuable, and you're getting movement activity in.
And I think if you're a parent or an older sibling, as me, I'm the youngest sibling, and seeing my dad go to the gym and seeing my brother when he was working out and go to the gym was really huge in my life, because I definitely would not be in this position that I am now if I didn't see them going to the gym. Like, oh, that looks pretty fun. Like, that looks cool. Oh, okay, I can start playing sports. Like, that looks pretty fun. My siblings were playing sports, so I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to play sports.
Yeah.
So I think having like a role model of that aspect is really important. So having your kids being able, if they're little and they're starting to grow up, watching their parent
Mm-hmm.
be as healthy as they can and work hard towards their health is a really big aspect of it as well.
Yeah, and I will say, like growing up, my mom always cooked pretty healthy home cooked dinners every night. I would say we ate decently healthy dinners for sure. I don't think we knew enough as far as the snacks and, you know, breakfast. It was cereals because we didn't really know any better. But on weekends, we would go out to our cabin. You know, there was no phones, nothing like that. We didn't really sit in the cabin and watch TV. Like, we were out building forts, riding dirt bikes. We would always have a brunch in the morning where my mom would make eggs and toast and bacon and sausage as a family. So we always did that. Plus we disconnected. Plus we were outside all the time. And my dad was always working on stuff. So like, yeah, that role model type thing, like you just mentioned, is huge. You typically will follow suit with your siblings or your parents.
Mhm.
So having a little bit of that kind of healthy habits, at least getting outside a lot. My brothers both played sports too. Definitely helped me with some of those things as I was growing up. But
And I wanted to point out that there are a good amount of kids that come here, and either if they're, you know, just hanging out watching their parent, most of the time they'll come and join in if their parents are working. Even if they start off just sitting off to the side, then they're like, even if they're not doing the workout with them, they want to go do cartwheels, or they want to go, you know, climb on the boxes or something. They're at least being more active than just like sitting around playing on a tablet or phone or something like that.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is like my sister-in-law has been bringing my niece Lena, and she's only 2, and she's doing wall sits with her, and she sent me a video when she went home, and she was doing jumping jacks, which her jumping jacks weren't very good jumping jacks, but she had my brother doing them with her, and I just thought it was the coolest thing. Like, she's 2 years old, so it's like you're never too young to start doing this stuff and getting your kids exposed to it, because they will definitely join in and pick up on it. You know, Henry, my nephew's pushing the sled around, and he got a kick out of that.
Yeah.
I was pushing him on the sled. He really loved that. But
And then when Jax comes in,
yep, Jackson Hayden. Yep, they're definitely picking up on the exercise and stuff like that.
yeah, swing around on the rings.
Yeah.
And it can just be play at first, right?
Yeah.
It's like that's what
Yeah.
keeps them interested. It's not like, yeah, you have to do 10 foot, like all this work, right? It's like that's more so when they get older. That's why, like, Kids Fit, we have that certain age group for it because they are at a level where they can start to, okay, yeah, like do this amount of something or like do this. But yeah, just getting them exposed to it, whether that's through an at-home gym if you work out at home, or bringing them to the gym to a class and letting them just like experience that. Or if you have like a teenager, having them come to and actually do the class.
Yep, 100%. Is your brother working out or anything yet? Do you know?
I think he does at the school with like the football team.
Yeah.
But that's about it right now for football and
So-
baseball.
I know you've had him come in with you a couple
Yes.
times.
Yeah, I
I
have.
just wanted to get your perspective because you have a younger sibling. Barry and I are the youngest.
Yeah.
So you're the influence.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely likes, like, he asked me, like, I asked him what he wanted for his birthday. He's like, I don't know, can I come to the gym with you? I'm like, yeah, of course, dude. Easy for me, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I try to get him up here sometimes, and unfortunately he can't drive yet, so it's
Right.
a little bit harder. But, yeah, no, I think it's impacted him at least a little bit. I would hope so.
Yeah.
Having an older brother that's involved in the fitness community and sports in high school. He always came to my games and stuff. So yeah, I'm
Cool.
sure it has.
You had a tip that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah. So speaking of activity, especially in today's world with all the video games and phones that kids have, like what kids 6, 7, 8 years old already have an iPhone and stuff. It's pretty wild. Or their own tablet or video games. Like I had video games, but like there was some kind of rules built in, at least for a little while. So what I think was the most beneficial thing looking back was I would pick up little jobs to earn a little bit extra money, like mowing lawns. My parents, if I cleaned the house while they were at work and vacuumed and mowed the lawn, they would give me a little bit of an allowance. I think it was like $10 a week, but it was enough to go out and go to the store and buy something that I wanted or whatever. So I think doing that, like giving your kids little jobs where they could earn a little bit of like income, especially too, teach them like work ethic and discipline at a young age would be super important. Like I started, for example, when I was like 10, I would clean and mow lawn. And then when I was about 12, I'd ride my bike to my grandpa's and I'd push mow his lawn and did his landscaping, like, did leaves and all that kind of stuff and mulch. And then when I was a little bit bigger, I would take the zero turn and mow my brother's lawn and his neighbor and then my parents' neighbor. And next thing you know, I was making enough cash to pay for gas once I got my license and car stuff. So I think just developing that and it gets them out of the house, gets them doing something outside and not just like immersed into like video games or TV or whatever. So I think that's like my number one tip would be to give your kids little jobs to do
Mhm.
and pay them for it, like reward them for it in a positive way.
Yeah, that's what we did in the summertime. Like, I'm an only child, so it's just me and my dad out there working in the yard. And I think I started at 8 or 9 or something like that. Like, just doing like helping with the push mowing, and like just doing like a straight part, and like dad would help part of it too. Or like, yeah, it's okay. We're gonna rake the leaves. I don't even know how old I was. My mom can attest to this. He had me out there. I was chopping wood, a log. I had like a hatchet, and I'm like chopping the wood as I'm sitting on the log. I'm not doing much, but it's keeping me busy, and I'm outside. And she about had a heart attack. That was gonna chop my leg off or something. And but then having like, okay, like during the summer, we're gonna have chores to do every morning, and it's like, if you work hard and there's no dragging the feet or whining or complaining, then you get $50 at the end of the summer.
Mm.
And then I would load $50 and we'd go down to Florida on trinkets. Actually, I think I spent it usually before getting down there, because we'd go through like Tennessee and Kentucky, and I remember I blew it at a Cracker Barrel once. And
It's easy
the money
to do.
habits were not good back then, but I was also like 10, so but yeah, it gives gives the kids that sense of like accomplishment, and helps instill that hard work. It's like, yeah, okay, like get up, get your work done, and then you can go off and play.
Yeah.
It's like get your chores done and then go do that, and then getting that outside time, emphasizing like, yeah, go get outside in the summertime. It's a nice day, and playing outside. And we always tried to do as much as we could outside, whether it's riding bikes or playing catch or playing ball. Because then obviously in the wintertime you can't do it as much.
And
Go ahead.
talking about money habits with kids, like if there was a reward system and they had an allowance, you could tell them, like, if they really wanted something, like, hey, you have an allowance, but it's more than what I give you in a week. Maybe you do a couple weeks to earn it, and you save your money instead of buying the one little thing that may not be worth it.
Right.
So teaching them good money habits is also a good thing with that, with the allowances and things like that.
Yeah. 100%. Yep. And just came to my head like some family activities that you could do, like other than cornhole and stuff like that. We used to play a ton of badminton as a family, and you have to have multiple people.
Yeah.
That was a really fun, or
That's
like volleyball or something. I just remember doing that at our cabin a lot as a family, and that was a ton of fun. Just playing badminton.
Competitive.
Getting competitive, yeah.
All right. Next part, we'll talk about routines and connection and how much they matter. So obviously, these healthy habits, they're not just about food, fitness, getting fitter. Like that's obviously a big cornerstone of it, but it's also about just having that structure to your day, and then also building connection within the family, right? So it's like if you're outside playing together, you're going to have a better relationship with your kids. And setting a routine of like, hey, this is about the general week sleep times, even if it's more relaxed, like knowing, hey, like we got stuff to get done earlier in the morning, like you got to be up by this time, like even if it is sleeping in compared to normal, but having some sort of a routine built in is huge, just to keep the flow going, everything. Especially if you have like, yeah, okay, every Thursday night we have family dinner, and like that's a routine. And having those things to set a foundation for the schedule for the week.
I think a big part of the routine is also being flexible with it as well, because, like, obviously all of you guys and me are big routine people. Like, we have our schedule, we have things like that, but sometimes just things go wrong, and just being like, okay, we'll just move it to another day and then we'll do it that day. I think just being flexible with it is a big thing, and kind of eases the mental struggle of, oh, I missed this, I missed that, like, what are we going to do? Just, like I said, just being flexible is really, really a positive thing to do for mental health.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also being like allowing yourself to fail, you know what I mean? Like, because that's what you learn from, right? Like finding the balance in the routines. Like, obviously it's not always going to work out, and then when your routine blows up and it's like all over the place, like just getting good at bringing yourself back together and like calm down, like we'll figure it out kind of thing, you know what I mean? So, and as you get older, I think you just get better and better at that. And I've learned a lot from this job because routines are always changing, constantly, right?
Yeah, and you can definitely tell, especially on the weekends, if you get way too off routine,
Mm-hmm.
it takes like a few days to get back into it.
Oh yeah, I learned that real quick.
Yeah.
It's just like, well, do I want to do it? Now I know
Like I said,
the repercussions of it. So whether I decide to stay up late or not, well, that's my own decision. But
yeah. Also focusing on adding into the routine a family game night at least once a week. Doing the board games or the outside games, cards. You could do, if anybody still has a Wii, do like a game night with that. That's a little more active.
I mean, even things like going to the movies together.
Oh, yeah.
Doing something as a family, I think, would be.
Putt-putt,
Anything.
go-karts.
Yeah.
Lots of fun stuff in the summertime.
even if your family dynamic is different, like my family, they're not a very like athletic family. Most of my family just likes to chill. So I think going to the movies or doing something just relaxing is a big part of my family. But other families they're obviously more, let's go do this, let's go try something new, let's go be athletic, and like putt-putt would be a good idea for them. So I think knowing your family dynamic is a really important part of it.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have, like I have 3 other siblings, so splitting it up And so, like Barry, you're gonna choose something one day. My brother, you're gonna do something next day. My sister, you're gonna choose something this week. So, a lot my family, we always like I would pick a dinner one week, and then my sister would pick a different dinner
That's
the
a good
next
idea.
week, or I would pick an activity one week, and then I'd have to do my sister's activity another week. So
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Everybody got their turn,
Yeah.
and that's
I
good.
like that.
Another thing to incorporate is doing a high and lows conversation at dinner. So like we always do a wins and
Yeah, I was
struggles
gonna say,
conversation.
Every single meeting that I do, I start with, "Hey, what's a personal, professional win?" So if you did with your kids, like, "Hey, what went really well today? What was a win of the day?" And then maybe what was like a struggle that you had or something that you had today.
Yeah.
Just having that conversation, I think, would be huge.
Yeah.
Sharing it with each person in your family.
Yeah, being like, like what was the highlight of the
Yeah.
day, or like what are you grateful for today, and then building that like reflection
Mm-hmm.
automatically when you're younger.
Yep.
Is huge.
Gets them thinking about it.
And then I think we mentioned this earlier too, but more screen-free meals as often as you can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's all that we have.
Awesome.
3 things that you could start to implement with your family is to meal prep one dinner and prep 3 healthy snacks. I think having healthy snacks ready to go is huge, especially kids running in and out, crazy schedules. At least you've got those healthy snacks to go to.
What would be your top? Let's go top 2 healthy snacks. Where to go?
number 1 healthy snack would be easy grab and go fruit. So anything cut up, grapes, strawberries, blueberries, something just open up, grab it, eat it.
Apple,
Banana, things like that. Grab and go fruits, and then I would also go a meat stick or beef jerky. I always like those ones. So
I would go number 1 banana, number 2 some Jack Links.
Fruit and beef sticks. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the grab and go fruit, like Barry said, that the string cheese, something like that, with like a meat stick or a fruit. Then like nut packets. Those are good.
Yeah, I was gonna say like a trail mix pack. Obviously, if it's not like the super candy version where it's
Yeah.
like white chocolate, caramel,
M&Ms.
M&Ms, all that stuff, but like a trail mix with, maybe it's got like dried cranberries or raisins with cashews and almonds or walnuts or
Maybe some dark
peanuts.
chocolate.
Maybe a little dark chocolate in there for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
gotta have a little bit of sweet
Little
tooth,
treat.
but
Mm-hmm.
that would be really good, like a trail mix. And then fresh fruit, banana, apple, super easy on the go. I usually have a banana and a trail mix every day in RX bars, so those are great. The other one I figured I would mention that like Katie has all the time are those ready to go yogurts,
Yeah.
like Oikos yogurts that are like 20 grams of protein and they taste good.
Yeah.
There's a cookies and cream one that's really good.
Yeah,
Right.
super on the go. Easy.
Go squeeze applesauces.
Oh yeah, those are
Yeah,
good.
there you go.
I do
I thought
like
you were gonna
those.
say Go-Gurt at first.
Mm.
That's
Yeah.
probably not good at all for you. But yeah, the go. Yeah. So I figured we would just share that just so people have ideas.
Yeah. Number 2, walk or move your body every day, even if it's just 10 minutes.
Yep.
So that minimum baseline is like, hey, 10 minutes, go do something active.
Yeah.
It's like everybody can fit in 10 minutes into their busy schedule.
Yep.
And the third one, plan one screen-free family night this week.
Sweet.
So if you do this or anything, let us know. Tell us how it went, how it's been impacting you and your family. Comment. You can tag us if they do something like this on social media. You can just DM us what you guys like to do to stay healthy, stay active. Comment on it. That way we can take your ideas too.
And last thing I would say is we have proof that this makes an impact. Like we've had so many parents, kids come into the gym and jump in and start exercising with them. And we have a ton of people from the 6-week Summer Sculpt program that we did that said when we did that meal with intention, it definitely helped us just our relation, even like the husband and wife's relationship a little better. They just talked more because they were eating at the table together for that meal. So this stuff does work. So like I know a lot of people are like, oh, I wish I could do that, but like, we're so busy in our family's schedules, there's no way. Well, just try your best to do some of these things and it does make a difference. I will say that we have proof that it does make
Something
an
is
impact.
always better than nothing.
100%.
Let's make the change that you can and that your family is willing to do right now. Even if it's just that little step forward, but forward is forward.
Yep.
Progress is progress.
And at the end of the day, for parents, like, understand that your kids will have an example, whether that's you or somebody else. So just decide if that's going to be you. I mentioned that my parents were examples for me. Barry said that his parents were examples for him. I'm sure you were out doing yard work with your dad. So we do follow suit with our parents and what their habits are. I'm sure you didn't, as an 8-year-old, plan all the fruit and nut mix snacks to take on your trips like your parents
Definitely not.
did
You wanted the
that.
candy, yeah.
Yeah, so
Still
if
do.
it was up to the kids, it would be all candy and stuff like that, right? So definitely lead by example as well. That would be the last thing I'll say. So hopefully this was valuable. Make sure you like and subscribe. Share it with somebody that might benefit from it, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day and stay healthy.